Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a woman named Asha. She had once been known for her infectious laughter and her zest for life, but recently something had changed. Her smile had faded, and the sparkle in her eyes had dimmed. She had become lost in the everyday grind, trying to fulfill duties, meeting expectations, and running errands, all while feeling an increasing emptiness inside. Asha's life had become a routine. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. She often wondered where the joy had gone. In search of answers, she went to her grandmother, a wise woman who had seen many seasons of life. Grandmother had always been a beacon of peace and serenity, someone who seemed to carry an endless well of happiness within her. "Grandmother, I feel lost," Asha confessed one afternoon. "Where has my happiness gone? How do I find it again?" Grandmother smiled gently, her wrinkles crinkling like the pages of a well-loved book. She patted the seat beside her and invited Asha to sit. "Happiness, my dear, is not something you find. It is something you uncover, piece by piece, from within yourself." Asha was puzzled. "But I don't know where to start. I feel like I've forgotten what it even feels like." Grandmother nodded wisely. "Sometimes, in the pursuit of life's demands, we forget to pause. We forget to breathe. We forget to connect with what truly nourishes us. Let me tell you a story." And so, Grandmother began the tale of the river and the stone. Once, in a faraway land, there was a river that flowed through a forest. It was crystal clear and sparkled in the sunlight. One day, a small stone was dropped into the river, and it tumbled along with the current. For many days, the stone felt battered, dragged by the water, and lost among the rocks. It began to feel hopeless, as though it would never find its place. Asha listened intently, her brow furrowing in thought. One day, however, Grandmother continued, the stone stopped fighting the current. It let go of its fears, and instead of trying to control its path, it allowed the water to guide it. And slowly, the stone began to smooth, its edges softened by the constant flow. It was no longer a sharp, jagged rock. It had become part of the river's beauty, shaped and embraced by the very thing it once feared. Asha looked at her grandmother, still puzzled. "So, you're saying that I should just give up?" Grandmother chuckled softly. "Not at all, my dear. What I mean is that happiness comes when we stop resisting life as it is. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can choose how we respond. When we accept the flow of life, we find the peace that was always there, just waiting to be uncovered." Asha sat quietly, contemplating her grandmother's words. It was a new perspective, one that was both simple and profound. She had been chasing happiness, thinking it was something external she could possess, but perhaps it was always inside her, waiting for her to pause, breathe, and listen. The next day, Asha began her journey of rediscovery. She started by slowing down. Instead of rushing through her morning routine, she savored each moment. She listened to the birds singing outside her window and took a deep breath, feeling the fresh air fill her lungs. She noticed the warmth of the sun on her skin as she walked through the village, and the laughter of children playing by the river. As the days passed, Asha began to notice small joys that had once gone unnoticed: the aroma of freshly baked bread from the bakery, the comfort of a good book, the kindness of a neighbor. She spent time doing things that made her heart sing, painting, journaling, and hiking in the forest. The more she let go of her need to control every moment and simply embrace the beauty around her, the more she felt a lightness in her spirit. Happiness was not a destination, but a series of moments, found in the quiet spaces between the chaos. One evening, as Asha sat on the porch of her grandmother's house, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, she realized that happiness had never truly been lost. It had simply been waiting for her to stop, to look within, and to appreciate the simple wonders of life. In that moment, Asha smiled, her heart full, and her spirit at peace. From that day forward, she carried the river's lesson with her. that happiness is not something to chase, but something to embrace, right here, right now. And so, Asha found her way back to joy, not through perfect circumstances, but through a peaceful acceptance of life's flow. She knew now that happiness was not a destination, it was the path itself. And in that understanding, she lived more fully than she ever had before.